What is up, everyone? It is Mr. Dean. We are back with the special hour. This is episode 12. As always, I am joined here by my co-host, Mr. DonovanDud. What's up, Donovan?
Hi there, it's Donovan, and welcome back to another special hour video. I was trying to do
a very interesting intro.
I was trying to do a Stampy intro, and then I forgot. The cake part. Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, welcome back to Stampy's lovely island.
World.
Or okay. Stampy's lovely world. Whoops. Okay. What's up, everyone? This is going to be a very eventful episode because at the time of recording this, just earlier today, we had the September Nintendo Direct. So there was a lot that got announced that will be kind of like quickly going through. This is going to be an episode with no questions at the end, by the way. So we'll get back to answering questions next episode. So if you have anything that you want us to answer, feel free to let us know in the comments, or the best way to do it is to join our Discord server for the special hour where we have a text channel for that. But before we get into the Direct, Donovan, how has your past week been? What's been going on?
Pretty eventful. I mean, just today, we just had desk crits for architecture, but I also took a belt test for karate. So I'm pretty exhausted,
cool.
I had a great post-workout snack with some architecture friends at a bonfire, and it was a very healthy, ginormous Hershey's chocolate bar. Oh yeah, I'm developing that six-pack.
I knew it was going to be... I was waiting to see whether it was actually going to be something healthy, like a protein bar or something.
Well, it is healthy. And then earlier this week... I kind of took to heart some of Pat Nat's discussions about networking. So I mustered up some courage and went to an architecture event. I was with some friends, so they backed me up, but they also needed my Switch 2 for this game night event. So I met some new people and played some games with some friends that I already knew. We played Mario Kart World, and I also got to observe random people trying out my Switch 2 and what games they had drifted towards. Obviously Mario Kart World, but they also wanted to try out the new Kirby game, which was really interesting, or at least the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. So that was intriguing. Yeah. That was pretty much my week. What about you?
It's very eventful. No, that's awesome though that you took something from the Pat Nat episode. We literally just recorded that 10 days ago too, and it already had some kind of effect, which is
a real world effect.
Hopefully those of you that watched that episode also took something away from that, because I do think that was definitely one of my favorite episodes that we've done, because there was a lot of real conversation that we had towards the end. As for my week, though, pretty eventful, mostly for bad reasons. So, Long story short, I got injured this past week.
What'd you injure?
Okay. So let me give you the quick rundown. So I was at an event for a student org I'm in, and we were doing a relay race. And it was my turn on the relay, and my task was I had to do a crab walk. Mm-hmm. And if anyone doesn't know what a crab walk is, it's where you are kind of on all fours and your hands are behind your back and you're having to scoot backwards very awkwardly. And let's just say I wasn't doing it correctly, and I may have stepped on my finger, and let's say I might have lost that fingernail. So
stop the podcast right now. Put an age restriction.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want to get graphic because there was definitely some blood. I'm all good now. This happened at the beginning of this past week. I just remember it took me 20 minutes to rinse it all out with hydrogen peroxide and everything, and then I put Neosporin on it. I took care of it and everything. It was very painful though, because whenever there's
your whole
some kind of cut like that,
or just
my whole fingernail came off. It was bad. So now it's definitely better. The nail's starting to grow back, but yeah, that's how my week's been. It's been a lot of and what's the worst part is that it's the dominant hand, my pointer finger. My most important finger is the one that I injured.
I'm just staring agape at my own finger and just imagining yours. This is That's just terrible.
This is a reminder because you know how sometimes you get like a sore throat and you take breathing for granted. I don't know if that's like a universal experience, but sometimes like I'll have like a stopped up nose and I'm like, I wish I was able to breathe again. And then, you know, you start to take it for granted. Don't take your finger for granted, Donovan.
Duly noted. I hope that finger heals properly and heals quickly and sufficient.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, let's talk about some video games.
Yay!
Or our first topic is we're going to be running through everything that was in the Direct in a roughly chronological order. Some of these are a little bit out of order, but for the most part, this is in order. So the first thing isn't even a video game. We're talking about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which I don't think we never talked about the original or not the original, the one from like 3 years ago or whatever. But the
original.
No, definitely not the original, but the Super Mario Bros. Movie with Chris Pratt, that whole cast. I don't think that we've talked about it on the show, but the sequel, it had been rumored before the Direct that it was going to be based on Mario Galaxy because I think Universal registered a domain name for that.
It was Old Spice that leaks this movie. It was fucking crazy.
I didn't even know
Old
that.
Spice. Yeah, they had like Mario Galaxy movie renders. So apparently, I guess that Yoshi render was actually true. So I have seen Yoshi.
Wow. And the thing is the trailer just wasn't really anything. Like there's not even anything for us to really discuss like about the movie itself. I mean, they said that there's going to be other elements of Mario games that are going to be present. So it's like, even if you're not a Mario Galaxy fan, there will still be fan service, whatever that means. But aside from that, that's about it. I'm sure it's going to be really good. I liked how the Mario Galaxy theme played.
I've seen news outlets saying the Super Mario Galaxy movie will be based off the Super Mario Galaxy games, and all in my head I could just think of no shit, Sherlock. I thought it was based off of Flappy Bird. Like they're really scraping by with any information they can get.
Dude, because the trailer was like 1 minute long.
Kind of nothing. It was just here's the title and here's
at least it was nice to have confirmation that the original cast is coming back. I mean, that was cool, but aside from that, I don't really know what to say about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just a little surprised they jumped straight to Galaxy for the sequel. I would always assume that would be like a kind of a third movie thing.
I thought it was going to be Super Mario World.
That's what I thought.
That's what I was expecting. But we're going Super Mario Galaxy. It is, depending on the day, my favorite Mario game. So I have high hopes for this. I think it'll be really cool to see Rosalina. It'd be crazy if Rosalina wasn't even in the movie. But it's going to be great to see Rosalina make her debut in the Mario Cinematic Universe. So, but speaking of Mario Galaxy, right after, this is where we, by the way, get into the 40th anniversary of Mario announcements. And I had my hopes very high for this. As soon as that whole thing came up, where it was the 40th anniversary, I was like, okay, we're going to get some really exciting announcements.
I had like the opposite effect. I'm like, all right, I can't wait for the bare minimum to happen.
Well, I wish I went in with your expectations, Donovan, because we'll get to this. So next was a little collection of Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 that is releasing alongside or not alongside, but it's, obviously a marketing thing for the movie. This is just odd because you are able to buy either game individually if it's like digital on the eShop, but they're selling this together even though Galaxy was already a part of 3D All-Stars, which is just weird.
And also that price is laughably.
$70 for 2 Wii games. I mean, granted, two great
even
Wii games,
individually, $40.
What is it? It's $40? Well, that's,
wow.
I mean, yeah, but that's not that shocking. Like, I'm not saying it's good, but it's like Donkey Kong Returns HD, wasn't that like 50 or 60?
Mm-hmm. To be fair, it could be worse.
It could be worse. I mean, I still think $70 for 2 Wii games where one of them is already available on the system is absolutely egregious. But
I mean,
I also think
what is a 3D All Stars?
Stars?
They don't sell that, so I don't know what that is.
Well, you're right. They don't. They don't. That's a good point. But it's still just like I'm losing my mind on it, and I can't even speak right now.
All in all, I will not be buying Galaxy 2 after all. I will just play it on my Wii.
Well, yeah, because it's mainly just like an up-res, and then you're able to buy Rosalina's storybook physically now. That's interesting.
Okay, that's kind of cute. I mean, I know that I've read some behind-the-scenes stories of Koizumi fighting to get that book inside of Mario Galaxy against Miyamoto's protests. And so him holding that book, I feel like that's
I do really like the Rosalina storybook, but I was just going to say that I think it would have been more ideal if Nintendo had just brought back 3D All-Stars and then made it include Galaxy 2 with like an update or something.
That is the most ideal situation, getting a Nintendo Switch 2 edition plus Super Mario Galaxy 2. However, it is Nintendo, again, as we said before, is run by the same monkeys that we saw in Superman.
Well, I mean, obviously we can sit here and say that they should have done the right thing, but it's Nintendo and they're greedy, so it's not surprising. But yeah, anyway, it is cool, I guess, to finally have Galaxy 2 on the Switch and being able to play it portably. That was always a really jarring omission from 3D All-Stars, so I'm glad that in some way, even if it's not the way I would have preferred, we do have that as an option.
I will say, one of my friends' little brother, he's a humongous Mario fan, and he's played Mario Odyssey to death. So, just before this podcast, I just sent my friend a text message, saying, your brother would love these two games. And I think for people that never experienced the Wii or, never born until the Nintendo Switch era, these are great games to be playing and to jump in, though that prices them. It could be debated. It's a little daunting. They're incredible games. That's all I got to say on that. I will not be playing it on Switch too.
So the next announcement for the Mario anniversary was Mario Tennis Fever, and I have a lot to say about this.
Thank God it's mainly not Mario's Pickleball.
Well, that's okay. That's not what I was going to say, but I mean, look, hey, Nintendo, if you're watching, I would not mind Mario Pickleball. Okay, you guys can feel free to make that. Donovan's the one tripping on that. But, I was just going to say, and like many other people on Twitter are also saying, where the fuck is Mario Baseball? I just want Mario Baseball, Nintendo. It's been, since Mario Super Sluggers? I just want a Mario Baseball game. We don't need another Mario Tennis game. I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, I guess we don't need one. I think baseball's definitely due for one. Me personally,
the Mario baseball games are peak, Donovan. No. No, the baseball games are peak, and pickleball is better. And there we go. So
on a real note, throw my racket into the microphone.
on a real note, Mario Tennis Fever looks better than Mario Tennis Aces was based on what we saw. I like how the story mode. At least the premise behind it is interesting, where the characters are all shrunk. We have Baby Waluigi canon now. The game
I didn't
itself.
Even realize that. That's disgusting.
Yeah, there's Baby Waluigi. The game itself, I mean, it just didn't catch my eye that much compared to the other Mario Tennis games. I may have to go back and rewatch the trailer. It's just like, I just want Mario Baseball, man.
Yeah, from what I saw, it's like, there's another Mario Tennis game, all right. The story mode kind of looked interesting. I think the only thing that just caught my attention was just the graphics look good. They look pretty good. That's it.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad that the graphics look good, Donovan.
That's it. Yeah, it looks good.
So the next Mario anniversary thing that we have is Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. This is an interesting one because everyone kind of knew Wonder was due to have a Switch 2 edition thing, and I was assuming that they would add maybe a new world or something along the lines of that, but instead it looks like what we're getting is like a bunch of mini games, which is really weird and I don't like it.
From what I've seen, or I guess a big word that you can summarize, or I guess sentence that you can summarize this direct in is the Wait for Springtime event or direct. I can't even speak. The Wait for Spring direct, because a lot of games, they showed off quite a few games, but they're also like, wait for spring for more information. That's the case with this one. We don't know everything, but from what I've seen, it looks like it's taking cues from Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, because that game also had a side mode dedicated to minigames called Merry Magoland. I think that, like, those minigames are fantastic. That's one of my go-to multiplayer games with friends when I just want to hook up my Switch. And looks like this is kind of the same thing with, what's it called? What's the plus called?
I already forgot. I'm gonna be so honest. I just am not at all Park. Interested in this.
We didn't even see all the mini games. From what I've seen, it looks okay. It looks all right. It looks fun-ish time.
Like you said, it looks like fun, I guess. It's like, it's fun in the same way where, like, I am blanking on a specific, it's like how those random mini games in Mario Party are fun. You know what I mean? It's like, I never go and play them, but if I had to, I guess it's fun with friends, but it's like, I don't know. It maybe I'm just not the demographic for this. But whenever I was watching that, I was just like, this is just not at all. I don't want to pay money for this, for a Switch 2 edition of Wonder.
What the hell is it called? Welcome to Bella Bell Park. Yes, I'm hoping the minigames there aren't just like one and dones where you just try it once and never play it again. I'm hoping there's a little bit more depth, and I'm hoping there's a ton of games to choose from. And I'm hoping that this works online as well. Mario Wonder does have online. You can play online with friends, but it's a little quirky and strange with the way they do local co-op versus online co-op.
It is.
It's strange. So I'm hoping they don't just ruin it with this. I hope it's the same for local and online.
I do think some of the mini games looked more interesting than others. For example, one of them was literally just like collect as many coins as you can, and I was like, okay, well, that's stupid. But then other ones, there was one that almost reminded me of not Smash Bros, but it was like you're trying to attack each other with like the items and stuff. That looked interesting.
Welcome
I would have
back.
to see more of that.
Hopefully it's just as good as Mario versus Luigi.
I don't know if it'll top that, but I like you said, I'll have to see more about it. From what they showed with the first impressions, it's just, I don't know, I probably won't buy it, assuming it's like $20.
Though the other thing, other than Bella Bell Park, is that they actually showed, not very much, but they showed a little gameplay snippets of just the regular game. It looks like this is also taking cues from Star-Crossed World, where they're, I don't know if they're remixing or maybe they're just new courses and just existing worlds. Maybe they're new worlds, but there's definitely new types of courses, and the Koopalings are involved too. So the one game that the Koopalings actually deserved to be in, they weren't in. So now they're here. They should remix some stuff. There was something with a toad with glasses. It's just, the thing is, we don't know much about it. It's a wait for spring.
Exactly, yeah. And by the way, that's just a whole other topic about this Direct, is the biggest thing Nintendo needed to do was give us a reason to buy the console with this holiday season, because, like we discussed, I think either last episode or the episode before, we don't really know much about this holiday season outside of Metroid, Kirby Air Riders, and Pokemon. 2 of those games are also releasing on the Switch 1. So those immediately aren't as enticing for someone that's thinking about getting a Switch 2. So this Direct, I was really hoping was going to give us more backbone behind this holiday season. And as we're going to see by the end of this, it didn't really do that. So, a lot of these games that are either a little bit lackluster, or like you said, it's wait until spring to find out more. That's great and all, but we kind of need stuff this holiday season.
To be fair, I think every month they got of this year, I mean, we got October, November, it's just 3 months. I think they have a game for each month. I mean, it was pretty tight already. It's just, the thing is, some of those games are also on Nintendo Switch 1.
Yeah, that's my whole point, is it's like, yeah, Metroid Prime 4, which we'll talk about this a little bit later, but they gave us a release date, which is awesome. It's coming out December. The thing is, it's coming out in December on the Switch 1 as well. If someone already has a Switch 1 and they're thinking about playing Metroid, chances are they're not going to spend the $450 on a new console unless if they care about graphics that much. Same thing with Pokemon as well. Those are two games that because they're releasing on both systems, it isn't as much of a pull factor for the Switch 2. So we got Kirby Air Riders. I know there's something else as well that I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but I feel like this Direct probably should have been more, used as an incentive for people that were on the fence about getting a console this year. But once again, we'll touch on that a little bit later. So the final thing, also speaking of Wonder, the talking flower is now gonna be an accessory that you can buy, and it actually talks to you physically.
That sounds terrifying.
Did you miss that? In the
No,
Direct?
I saw it. Maybe I could buy it and put it in my studio and freak out all my classmates. That'd be funny.
I'm definitely not going to be buying that personally. That sounds terrifying.
I can imagine it at night because a lot of people do all-nighters in architecture. Just
I'll pass.
Talking flowers saying, you can do it at 3 a.m. and someone's going to lose their
hard
shit.
pass on that. So the final announcement though from Mario's 40th anniversary is not even a Mario game, so that's lovely. But it's Yoshi and the Mysterious Book.
Ooh.
And I'm a Yoshi fan. I like Yoshi. I haven't played every Yoshi game, but I've played the original on Super Nintendo. I've played Yoshi's Woolly World and Yoshi's Crafted World. I enjoy all three games that I've played. It's just funny to me that this is a part of Mario's 40th anniversary and it's a Yoshi game, but, Yoshi's a Mario character technically, so I guess it passes or whatever. The game itself, though, I think that the art style is charming. I think it's cool. It kind of goes for that, hand-drawn aesthetic. In a way, it reminds me of a more cutesy Nintendo version of something like Ori and the Will of the Wisp. I don't know if you got that vibe at all, but not that it looked the same. I think I just got that from the lighting and stuff. It was very cartoony.
I got a more
realistic.
Mario Wonder-ish vibe from that.
Well, Donovan, I'm saying combine those two vibes. That's my point. It's both vibes in a blender.
Oh. Wow.
Don't, Donovan, don't make me look like an idiot if you don't respond. Now I'm going to be the dumbass that people are
oh, okay. Oh, all right.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to go fuck myself. Thank you guys for watching. Okay. So, yeah, this game looks interesting. I think that the actual gameplay that they showed was a little bit boring, though. There was no action going on at all, which, yeah, it's a Yoshi game. That's part of the appeal. It's kind of like Kirby in that way, where Yoshi games are oftentimes meant to be a little bit more relaxing. But I don't know, this one, I feel like they could have selected better gameplay to show us, but it looks interesting, I guess. That's all I'll say.
Looks like a game. Good talk,
Donovan.
You're welcome. You guys come here for the greatest insights into video games. This is another situation where it's wait for spring. So I'm okay, I guess I'll wait for spring. From what I've seen, looks like a Yoshi game. I like the art style.
Well, you really had a lot to contribute.
Yep,
with this
I know. I could contribute something. It's going back to Kirby. I was playing the Ultimate Cup Z, which is the arena for Starcross World, with my brother. That shit is hard. and then I played the Ultimate Cup ZEX with a friend. We played this at Culver's. That is Dark Souls. Kirby is Dark Souls. I'm not kidding anymore. That shit is difficult.
Did I just?
That is so hard.
I must be on something right now.
No, you are sober.
Did you just compare Kirby
is Dark Souls? Try the Ultimate Cup ZEX. That is so hard, and I did that in co-op, and we didn't even beat it. It was terrible.
All of a sudden, I feel a little bit less bad about my comparison of Yoshi to Ori. Because what the hell?
It is hard. It's so hard. Anyways,
okay. So anyway, next, as we exit from, I guess before we exit from the Mario anniversary, how do you think Nintendo did with this anniversary? Compared to say the 35th anniversary, we had 3D All Stars, which was terrible. We had Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, which was a cute experiment, but it was like so expensive that I never even felt compelled to buy it at all. And then we had Super Mario Bros. 35, which they shut down even though it was really fun. So I guess just by default this year it was better. But
I mean, this year we got re-releases, a Yoshi game, and a movie. So I guess the movie does some heavy lifting.
And Mario Tennis Fever. I mean,
oh yeah,
well,
that game exists.
we can't even say that the movie does heavy lifting because we haven't seen any fucking thing about it yet. No, the movie could suck for all we know.
Truth nuke. I mean, 30th anniversary we had Mario Maker, and then I remember the 25th anniversary. That was it. Could have been that bad. We could have had a re-released SNES game with 0 changes.
Yeah, where they literally keep the SNES controller layout in the final game.
I think my favorite part with the 35th anniversary was the Super Mario Brothers Game & Watch. I love that thing.
I forgot about that.
Wish they did something like that. Well, we get a talking flower instead, so maybe that makes up for it.
Yeah, we'll have to, before we evaluate how they did with this, we're gonna have to see how Yoshi, the Mario Wonder, and Mario Tennis turn out, because those could be all really good. It's hard to say so far, but yeah, moving on, we got Tomadachi Life Living the Dream.
Hell yeah.
They showed a little bit more info on this, and it looks fun.
Have you played the original?
Yeah, I used to play a lot of the original. I don't have it anymore. The original, it just kind of has that unique, oddball, like quirky vibe to it where you're not even really playing the game. You're just kind of observing all the Miis, like have their own draw. It's like playing a reality show. Where you're just kind of watching goofy stuff unfold. So I always enjoyed the original. The new one, it has a weird vibe. I don't know how to describe it. It's like the Miis look off for some reason. I don't know if it's like the way they
I'm
designed
open.
them.
I'm open to the change in art direction.
Oh, I'm open. I'm not saying I'm closed-minded to it. I'm just pointing out that it looks different. You know what I mean?
I think my only fear for this game is that Nintendo censors it too much. They sanitize the experience. Some of my favorite moments. It was
already pretty sanitized from the original.
I know, but I know some moments in the original. I watched this YouTuber named Poofesher. He makes some hilarious content and also some pretty vulgar content. One of his series is Tomadachi Life. And I know he's definitely eyeing this new game, but I'm just hoping that he could still make some legendary moments, you could say, in this new game. And I'm hoping Nintendo doesn't sanitize it to all hell, scrubbing away any possibility of any wackier moments that could happen due to creativity or creative differences.
Donovan, I don't know what Tomadachi Life you were playing on the 3DS, but that shit was already like rated G, bro. Like that was
no, people
like they would. I remember they would censor like the weirdest stuff. Like that game was.
No, people find ways, and I'm hoping Nintendo doesn't, circumvent those different ways people got around some barriers. I'm hoping Nintendo embraces player input. And, just lets people, run wild. Obviously not, not something like insanely wild, but, just limit it to a good amount.
Yeah, what, Donovan, are you like advocating for people to put slurs in the game or something? Is that what you're saying?
That's a little too far, but I have standards.
Standards. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, I remember whenever Peanut Butter Gamer made his Tomodachi Life video, which that video as a kid was what convinced me to buy the game. You know how the original had that feature where you could make songs and then watch your Miis perform them?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I remember he would make some of the lyrics like really vulgar, but he would do it by like misspelling like swear words and sexual innuendos and stuff like
Nintendo
that.
wouldn't allow this.
Exactly. That's my point. Is like I remember
that's
with
the fun of it.
Exactly. Like why can't you just spell out like fucking cum and shit?
I want to see my Mii of Barack Obama saying nothing came to mind. Just pretend I said something and censor it.
Okay. Dude, Donovan, why would you say that?
That wasn't me. That was Barack Obama.
Okay, so for fuck's sake, this podcast is so bad. Okay, so moving on. We have my favorite announcement of the entire Direct. Virtual Boy is joining the lineup of Nintendo Classics. Whenever I tell you my jaw hit the floor whenever this came up, of all things that I was not expecting to see, it was the Virtual Boy. I saw this one really funny tweet that was like, oh fuck, wait, now I forgot what it was. It was like,
oh great.
Damn it. Okay, well I'm gonna cut that out.
Don't keep that in.
What was the tweet? Donovan, keep talking. Just
on a real note, I think Virtual Boy on Nintendo Classics is actually really, really cool. There's like no other way to experience Virtual Boy other than emulation, and also some of those Virtual Boy games end up looking terrible via emulation because it's stereoscopic 3D in VR. I feel like you're missing out on some of the quote-unquote authenticity of these shitty Virtual Boy games. So the fact that they're actually doing this on Nintendo Switch 2 when they kind of missed out on their opportunity on the Nintendo 3DS, this is pretty awesome. This is a great win for like video game preservation. And okay, well, that price tag for this game, however, is a little bit steep, but for it, this is really targeted to freaks like me who want to experience this quote unquote authenticity, and them selling like a really high quality reproduction of a Virtual Boy where you can just slot in your Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2. That is amazing. That is some unnecessary level of dedication and detail. I think that's a pretty cool buy for any Nintendo collector or anyone that has any morbid curiosity of experiencing terrible 3D games. I mean, some of them are pretty decent. I hear Wario Land Virtual Boy is actually a pretty competent side scroller. The thing is, I think it's wild that it's taken this long to actually finally experience one of the very first Wario Land games. Is that even? Maybe it's the first Wario Land game. I forget. Mario's Tennis originated on the Virtual Boy too. So if you want to experience a terrible tennis game, there you go. I just think the fact that this exists baffles me. Also, they are selling a cardboard variant. So welcome back, Nintendo Labo. You have been missed.
Yes. I pretty much agree with everything that you just said. I have zero interest in buying this. No part of me has ever wanted to play a Virtual Boy game, nor do I think I ever will. But for the sake of video game preservation, I think it's great that they're selling this. It's also just shocking because it's so unmarketable because everyone knows that the Virtual Boy sucked. So it's like
the fact that they acknowledged it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't see a ton of people buying it, but I still think the fact that they're preserving these games is a good thing. So that's, I mean,
yeah,
like
not a lot of people will buy it except for freaks like me. Just the fact that they even have this at all is
shocking.
Pretty shocking. Yeah, obviously this is super super niche. It is exclusively for for expansion pack members, and you need to buy the accessory for this to work. So clearly they're not banking on this like being like a system seller for the Switch and Switch 2. It's just a little goodie for members.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's good that it's happening, even if it's not of direct interest to me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's also just funny.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
I think a lot of people before this, they weren't even suspecting Virtual Boy. They were suspecting Nintendo DS because of recent patents for a second screen accessory and renewed trademarks for Nintendo DS games. Though we haven't gotten that yet. Give it 2027. That's my bet. But I think the fact that this Virtual Boy accessory exists further points to the fact that a Nintendo DS accessory, like a second screen accessory, can and probably will indeed exist for Switch. Probably the Switch 2 because of that second USB-C connector.
So yeah, that was the Virtual Boy. The next one I'll let you kind of take over on because I'm going to be honest, this was another one that I was doing laundry while this game was being shown, so I kind of missed it during the original show. Oh God,
we need a new host.
I'm just being honest. You know, this morning was my laundry morning and it happened to be during a direct. I couldn't do much about that. So yeah, we have Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, or not. Wait, I'm stupid. Age of Imprisonment. I'm stupid. Not Age.
Wait, are we talking about? I thought it was about Metroid Prime 4.
Well, no, I'm going off of the order that I sent you. But it's funny because even then I typed in Age of Calamity for some reason. Anyway, go ahead and talk about Hyrule Warriors.
So Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. We saw a little bit more of the game. We saw you can use Zonai devices. Was there a release date? I wasn't even paying attention to that. But
I was doing laundry.
It looks like there's some. At the end of the first trailer, we saw some Zonai device that kind of resembled Link. We kind of got a confirmation. I don't know if it is Link, but it looks like it inherits Link's playstyle. So that's a cool way of having the hero of the wild in this game, even though canonically he isn't supposed to be involved with this story at all. I mean, all in all, it's another Hyrule Warriors game. It's another Warriors game in general, set in the time period of Tears of the Kingdom. It looks interesting. The only thing that in the back of my mind when watching this was, it would have been nice if this was in the actual Tears of the Kingdom game with all this story. But I guess we'll take the Hyrule Warriors treatment, I guess.
Well, don't say that because Ivan might be watching Donovan, and he's a big Tears of the Kingdom story fan. So, shout out Ivan if you're watching this. Okay, so was that all for Hyrule Warriors?
Oh, that's pretty much it. There's some fighting and explosions. I love Tears of the Kingdom. I will be picking this up. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity was a great time. And also co-op and game share. Game share was a big W in this presentation. I think game share, which is basically an evolution of download play, it's a great killer feature of the Switch 2, in my humble opinion. You only need one copy of a game, and you can share that between like 4 people. You can play this game in co-op, and you don't have to deal with a split screen. You can use your own screens. I think that's amazing. And also, yes, co-op does return. I played co-op for the final boss in Age of Calamity with a friend while on vacation. The frame rate was so hilarious. I cannot believe we even beat the game, but hoping that the frame rate is better.
The Age of Calamity frame rate is comedic almost.
Oh no, in co-op it is like 10 frames, maybe sub 10.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. So let's talk about some Pokemon, Donovan, because everyone loves Pokemon. So the first thing is Pokemon Pokopia. Is that how you say it? It's the everyone's saying it's like the Animal Crossing ripoff for Pokemon. It's like if Animal Crossing and Minecraft had a kid and then you themed it after Pokemon, basically.
Yeah, I love farming sim games. We should have more.
Yeah, everyone knows farming sim games are all for pussies, Donovan. They're not real games. They're all fake. No, this is a bit, by the way, before you get offended. I love farming games, but anyway, this one just looked kind of like a shrug to me. I don't know.
It looks like a game.
This one genuinely is one of the games of all time. Yep. Like that, I think that description fits this one pretty well.
So anyways,
the other thing, so the other thing Pokemon related, that this was one of the low points of the Direct to me. It was very disappointing to see this come from Nintendo. But while they were talking about Pokemon Legends EA, they announced paid DLC for a game that is not out, which is very shitty. So yeah,
they showed like a pre-rendered cutscene that's probably not even in the game. So we kind of know not too much about this anyways, other than the Mega Evolutions.
Well, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't even matter. It's just the fact that the game's not out and we're announcing DLC. It should just be in the base game then, because obviously it's ready to go.
Yeah.
I
didn't think about it that way. You're right. That's a little shitty.
And Nintendo, I mean, other companies have done this same practice before. I'm trying to remember if Nintendo's done that. I think that they have, because I feel like generally Nintendo's good about DLC, at least not announcing it before the game comes out. Let me know in the comments if Nintendo's done this before. I'm blanking off the top of my head. But it's just really a shame whenever companies do this, whenever they withhold content, like from the game. Or, okay, actually, I guess the closest I could think of with Nintendo doing this is Breath of the Wild. Whenever they announced DLC, it was like the day of, or like right whenever the game came out that they announced it. So that's like somewhat similar to this type of thing. I don't know. I think like no matter what the DLC is, if it's announced before the game comes out, it should just be in the game. But sorry if that's a woke opinion. Don't want to offend anyone. But
other than the DLC, actually this is on top of the DLC. I was overhearing two of my friends today. They were talking about the new Mega Evolutions for Raichu, and they said one of my friends said the Y version looks stupid. Yeah, that's my input. That's not even my input. That's my friend's input.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about. Well, I guess this one's gonna be another one where you're yapping. Let's talk about Metroid Prime 4. This was another one where right whenever this trailer started, I had my second load of laundry that I had to go do, and I was so pissed off. But no, because the problem is in my apartment, there's only like 2 laundry machines per floor. So I'm not able to I can't just like sit there and wait and then go, like I have to like be on it. So I unfortunately missed that trailer during the actual direct. So I'll let you share what you gathered
Firstly, from it. A release date. Thank God it's actually coming this year. It is missing a Game Awards season, so it'll come up next year against GTA 6, but this game will be peak, I promise. The biggest takeaway is that Samus has a badass motorcycle now. That looks sick. The moment where she hopped out of the motorcycle and went straight back to first person gameplay in an instant, that is some gameplay magic right there. I love that. My only concern is that they showed off an environment where you're in the motorcycle. It's like a barren desert wasteland environment. It looked a little bit empty, so I'm hoping, I don't think it's open. I don't think this game is open world, but there's probably like open air segments of this game. I'm hoping those environments look a little bit more detailed than what we saw in the barren desert wasteland, because we saw another segment where she again is riding the motorcycle and it's in these like really highly detailed towers. She's jumping across a gap and there's lightning and rain effects everywhere. There's so much fog. It's so ominous. Like, those are the environments I want to see. That looks awesome to drive through. And then we saw some more combat mechanics against different machines and aliens. It looks really cool. I can't wait to jump back into first-person Metroidvania gameplay. It looks so fun. The grapple beam is back on your left hand, and you're not using motion controls anymore. You're just using the left control stick. And then Sylux.
Thank God.
I know my Metroid stuff. Sylux just appears to be floating for some reason. He's just aura farming at that point. Very, very excited for this game. Hollow Knight Silksong fans, you better be there when Metroid Prime 4 Beyond comes out. You better be there. This game looks great. It's shaping up to be fantastic. I'm hoping those open airish segments of the game have much more to do and visually look a little bit better than what we saw. So just crossing my fingers. And we saw brand new amiibos. Those amiibos look sick as hell.
Yes. Well, and we forgot to mention for Super Mario. What was
Galaxy.
it that we got amiibos for Mario Galaxy? Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy. We have two new amiibos, and they look pretty cool as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I did see the motorcycle, and it does look like a lot of fun. Someone is honking right outside of my apartment right now.
Anyways, Samus will be coming
to
Mario Kart World.
Yes. So let's go ahead and try to get right through these final 3, because I could see 2 of these taking up a little bit of time. Donkey Kong Bonanza, we're getting DLC for. They're basically not remaking, but like they're turning the iconic DK Island into a layer in Donkey Kong Bonanza that you're able to explore. It's really funny to me that this game is getting DLC before Mario Kart World. I know that's what everyone's saying, but like it's true. Like it's just crazy to me. Did they announce how much this one costs?
I bet we could probably look it up.
Very, as always, the most professional podcast. So we already have our info ready to go.
DK, fuck me. Donkey Kong Bonanza, $20.
Okay, that's a little expensive, but isn't it just like the one layer?
Yes, that's what I'm confused on. It looks like it's Emerald Rush, which is a new gameplay mode. Looks fun and all. It looks like City Trial from Kirby Air Ride.
Well, I mean, no, it looks fun,
interesting,
but like
you also get DK Island, and you can get Emerald Rush in every other layer of the game. Just the thing is, I wasn't expecting that from a paid DLC. I was expecting, maybe another side story. Maybe obviously we got the new layer, but maybe a few more new layers. I wasn't expecting like a side mode and one new layer. It's a little strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really understanding it that much. It looks fun though. Like if you love Donkey Kong Bonanza and you want more to do in the game,
yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun.
So
Peak keeps getting peaker.
That literally that makes no sense. If something's peak, then it can't get peaker. But whatever. So I know you wanted to talk about Fire Emblem. This is one that I have, being...
You have a lot of knowledge. You know what? Actually, we'll let you take this. What can you say about this?
So Fire Emblem, it's that one game with the Smash characters. I think it's really cool that they're finally giving them their own game. I've been waiting for them to finally, have a story that they're able to connect with each other on. So yeah, I think it's exciting. So
finally,
Donovan, what do you think?
They finally got a game. On a real note, this looks pretty exciting. I was playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I was replaying the game, going through the Black Eagle route. The Crimson Flower route, and just the fact that, firstly, this seems to be a prequel or a sequel. We don't know yet. It's a little bit confusing, but it's definitely connected to the Three Houses universe, and that, as a big Three Houses fan, that makes me very excited. This seems to be taking place in the Three Houses universe, which is really interesting. Here's to 6 more years of Three Houses discourse. The main giveaway to me, or to everyone, was at the end of the trailer where Sothis appears, who's a very prominent character in Three Houses, and she looks all grown up, so, time works weird in Fire Emblem. Who knows if it's a prequel or a sequel, but all we know is that Sothis is back. She is back. Other dead giveaways to me when I was first watching it was like, I saw like a crest and a hero's relic looking sword, so I thought that was interesting. And then, like demonic beasts reappeared. I'm like, oh, this looks a little bit familiar. And, the art style looks pretty cool. It looks like it's taken the best parts of Three Houses, character design, and then maybe the art style of Engage and fusing, and the art style of Awakening, and fusing them all together to make a pretty modernized 4K-ified, I guess, version of Fire Emblem. Environments look cool. Looks like it's taken a lot of gameplay cues from Engage. I haven't played Engage, mainly because the story sounded so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. It sounded so basic and dumb. I just wasn't motivated to just play and fight through that game. But it's looking like they're taking some of the gameplay cues, which I hear are pretty good and a step up from Three Houses, I'm talking about Engage. They're taking some Engage gameplay cues and fusing them into this one. So that looks promising. Hopefully, the environments also take some cues from Engage instead of three houses and making them a little bit more complex. I guess people's main hopes, or you could say fears. Three houses is a bit controversial, you could say. Lots of people love it. Lots of people think it's a interesting take, you could say, on the Fire Emblem formula. We'll see if there's another month or calendar system. We'll see if there's more teaching, just like in Three Houses. And all in all, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty stoked that it's set in the Three Houses universe. Fire Emblem fans can torch me in the comments saying that I'm a fake Fire Emblem fan. All in all, I'm pretty excited to see where this goes.
Okay, awesome. So finally, before we close out, the other announcement I thought was kind of interesting is Resident Evil Requiem. I would say I'm a moderate fan of Resident Evil. I've only played a small handful of the games. Resident Evil 4, it's a very generic opinion, but it's like one of the greatest games of all time. Of course, there's a whole like lore behind how the first three games were more survival horror, then it started to turn action with 4, and then with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, it kind of went back into survival horror, went first person, and then I haven't kept up with the most recent games, Village and then Requiem, but they look fun. They look horrifying as well, which is it's Resident Evil, so it should be. Did you find those interesting at all whenever they came out?
I've played Resident Evil Village. I haven't finished it, but I'm a decent way through. I should probably finish that before Requiem comes out. I guess my thoughts on Requiem is that it's really good to see current gen games that are releasing also with, current gen hardware, PS5 and Xbox and, PC is also coming to Switch 2 day and day. Or is it day and day? I believe so.
Yeah, I think it was day and day. I think that's what I saw. I definitely want to try them out because I also just want to play more horror stuff, to be honest. I feel like horror is one of my blind spots in gaming. I haven't played a ton of horror stuff, but anyway, that's basically all the stuff I thought was like necessary to hit from the direct. There wasn't anything crazy I missed, right, in the planning?
I'm looking through the direct list right now. You can cut this.
No, we're keeping this in.
I hate you. 2 new amiibo figures right into Kirby Air Riders. It looks like welcome back Skylander Swap Force.
Yes.
Hades 2. That's awesome. Power Wash 2. Yeah, it's kind of...
Power Wash 2?
Yep, Power Wash 2, the most important game on the list.
Okay. I do remember there was a bunch of like random games that looked like mobile games in the middle of the direct, and I was like, okay, so yeah, that was it for this episode. Like I said, no questions for this week, but if you have anything for next week, feel free to drop that in the comments below or in the Discord server that I mentioned earlier. Before we do sign off, Donovan, where can the people find you on the internet if they want to hear more of your lovely voice?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. I probably will have uploaded a video by then if I'm not lazy. It's a video that should have released a while ago, but I've just been grinding away and trying to make it as good as possible because I'm talking about something very interesting to me. And also, you can primarily interact with me on Discord, the Nintendo Boys, and you can find me on, what's it called? Twitter, yeah, and Instagram. What about you?
Actually, Donovan, it's called X.
Shut up!
Damn it. So, my name is Mr. Dean.
Really?
You can follow. Shut the fuck up. So you can find me on YouTube, MrDean44. I upload lots of fun Nintendo stuff. It's been a couple weeks since my latest video. I'm working on a pretty big one right now, and then I'm gonna get back to my upload schedule. Just been adjusting with school and everything, and had a little bit of an injury that I mentioned earlier. But I'm also on Blue Sky and then X, X.
You should.
Just kidding. I'm on Twitter.
Oh God.
I'm on Twitter. Mr. Dean. And yeah, Twitter, the worst app, or at least nowadays, it's the worst app. The bird shit app. And then also, I have Discord server, the Dean Kingdom. Feel free to join. Lots of fun stuff. Or it's low key been a little bit dry recently. I know we say this every episode, but we need to revive that server. So if you want to help revive it, feel free to join the server. And yeah, thank you everyone so much for listening. So,
thank God he said the right word.
I said listening this time. What should we do for our outro?
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.